Anna had spent most of her life feeling like she did not belong anywhere. From childhood, she never heard warm words, never felt gentle hands fixing her hair, and never had anyone waiting for her at the door. After losing her parents when she was still very young, she lived with relatives who cared for her in the most basic way, but never truly loved her. They gave her food, a place to sleep, and clothes that were always worn out from someone else first. But they never gave her what she wanted the most, some sign that she mattered. Growing up, Anna learned to stay quiet, move softly, and keep her head lowered. She believed speaking too much or asking for anything would only trouble people. When she became old enough to help around the house, she did every chore without anyone asking. She washed floors, cooked meals, carried water, and took care of younger children. People often said she was useful, but no one ever said she was important. When she turned 22, her relatives decided she should work in town to earn her own bread. They packed her a small bag, gave her a few coins, and sent her away without even walking her to the door. Anna did not cry. She had learned long ago that tears changed nothing. In town, she found work cleaning rooms in a boarding house. The pay was small, but she did not complain. She stayed in a little space behind the kitchen, sleeping on a narrow bed that dipped in the middle. She told herself she was lucky to have a place at all. Every night she heard laughter from the dining room, neighbors talking to their families, friends calling each other by name. Anna had no one. She convinced herself that this was normal. Some people were simply born to be alone. One evening, after finishing all her chores, she sat behind the boarding house and looked at the sky. The streets were quiet, and the wind carried the sound of a distant train. She hugged her shawl around her shoulders. That was when she heard two travelers talking by the back gate. They were discussing a newspaper advertisement, mail-order brides wanted in the Western Territories. They laughed lightly, joking about how lonely ranchers would marry anyone if they lived far enough from town. Anna listened quietly. She was not offended. She had grown up hearing such words, but something inside her felt strange. A woman in the advertisement had written her life story asking to marry a stranger because she had no family left. People in town sometimes whispered that lonely ranchers would take a wife out of necessity. They needed help on the ranch and someone to care for children. It was not the kind of marriage filled with sweet stories. It was more like an agreement. But even an agreement sounded more gentle than the empty life Anna had now. Later that night, she went to her room and stared at the small table. She thought about the advertisement. She thought about those lonely ranchers. She thought about a home, a place with 4 walls and a warm fire. She wondered for the first time if someone far away might not mind having a quiet, hard-working woman like her. Her hands trembled as she picked up a pencil and a sheet of paper. She wrote slowly, choosing each word with care. My name is Anna. I have no family. I can cook, clean, sew, and take care of a home. I am quiet but loyal. If someone needs help, I can travel and start a new life. She did not add anything about beauty or charm. She did not write about dreams or hopes. She simply wrote the truth: she could work hard, she could be dependable, and she would not cause trouble. She folded the letter and mailed it the next morning. Then she went back to her chores and tried to forget about it. She assumed her letter would get lost or ignored. Why would anyone choose her? Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. No letter came. At first, she checked the post office every day. Then she checked once a week. After 2 months passed, she stopped checking entirely. She told herself she should not have been foolish to think anyone far away would select her from a pile of letters, filled with better words and better hopes. Still, late at night, when she lay on her narrow bed, she felt a quiet ache inside her. She wanted a place where her footsteps mattered. She wanted someone to say, "Sit down, you've worked enough today." She wanted to hear a voice calling her by name with kindness. But dreams were not for her, she reminded herself again and again. One ordinary morning, when she was scrubbing the kitchen floor, someone from the boarding house walked in holding a mail envelope. "Anna, the postman left this for you," the woman said. Anna took the envelope slowly, unbelieving. Her heart beat louder and louder as she looked at the handwriting on the front. It was neat, firm, completely unfamiliar. She opened it with shaking fingers. A letter fell into her hands, and she began reading. Dear Anna, my name is Samuel. I live in a small town far west, where the land is wide and the winters are cold. I received your letter. Anna held her breath. She read on. I am a widower. I have a small daughter who needs gentle care. I did not expect to write to anyone, but your letter came at a time I needed help. If you are willing, you may come and stay with us. We will discuss what is right when you arrive. I will meet you at the station. Anna read the letter 3 times before her mind understood the meaning. Someone had chosen her. Someone wanted her to come to his home. He had not promised marriage, but he had asked her to travel all the way west to meet him. She did not know how he looked, how he spoke, or what kind of life he lived. But his words were calm and respectful. He said he needed help. That was enough. For the first time in years, Anna felt a small spark inside her, a spark of hope. She packed her few belongings, 2 dresses, a shawl, a comb, and the letter. She bought a train ticket using most of her saved coins. The journey would take several days, and she would pass through places she had only heard about. She did not worry about the long travel. She had nothing in town to hold her back. The morning she left, she stood outside the boarding house and looked at the building. No one came to say goodbye. She expected that, but she still whispered softly, "Thank you for shelter." This was her way, always polite, always grateful. The train station was noisy and busy. People carried suitcases, hugged each other, and called out instructions. Anna felt out of place, standing there with her single small bag. When the train whistle sounded, she stepped onto the platform and found a seat near the window. As the train moved away from town, Anna watched the houses shrink into the distance. She did not feel fear. She felt something almost unfamiliar, peace. She was leaving behind a life where she was nobody. Ahead of her was a place she had never seen, a man she had never met, and a little girl who needed someone's gentle care. During the journey, she imagined what Samuel might be like. Maybe he was tall and serious. Maybe he spoke softly. Maybe he was lonely but kind. She wondered about his daughter. Was she shy? Was she playful? Did she remember her mother? Anna hoped she would not be afraid of her. The train crossed forests, plains, and small towns. At every stop, Anna saw families welcoming travelers. She saw children waving, old friends embracing, husbands lifting wives' bags from the platform. She watched quietly, reminding herself that such moments were not for her. Not yet. When the train finally reached the small western town where Samuel lived, the evening sun painted everything in warm gold. Anna stepped onto the platform, clutching her bag. Her heart pounded as people rushed past her. Then she noticed a man standing near the end of the platform, holding a hat in his hands. He looked stiff and unsure. Beside him stood a little girl holding a small cloth doll, her eyes wide and watchful. The man looked toward Anna once, then twice. She recognized him immediately, not from anything she had been told, but by the quiet, hesitant expression on his face. He did not look like someone waiting for a stranger. He looked like someone unsure of what to say. Anna walked toward them slowly. She kept her steps steady, her eyes lowered respectfully. "Mr. Samuel," she asked softly. He nodded. "Yes, you must be Anna." She felt the weight of the entire journey settle around her shoulders, but she lifted her chin just a little. "Thank you for meeting me," she said. He cleared his throat. It was only right. The little girl peeked from behind his leg, watching Anna with curious eyes. Anna gave her a small, gentle smile. The girl did not smile back. But she did not hide either. Anna did not know it then, but this simple meeting, quiet and uncertain, was the beginning of a life she never believed she deserved. The station was quiet after the train left, and the wind swept across the open land, carrying dust with it. Anna stood beside Samuel and his little daughter Lily, unsure of what to do next. She waited for Samuel to lead the way, but he seemed uncertain himself. He kept adjusting his hat, glancing at her, and then looking away as if he didn't know what words were proper to speak. "We should head home before it gets dark," he finally said. Anna nodded gently. She followed them to a small wagon tied to an old horse. The animal lifted its head and snorted softly, almost as if greeting her. Samuel helped her with her bag, then helped her step onto the wagon. His movements were respectful, but distant. It was clear he was trying to figure out how to behave around a woman who had traveled so far for him. Lily climbed in next to her father, clutching her cloth doll close to her chest. She didn't speak a word. She only stared at Anna with wide, curious eyes. The wagon ride began quietly. The wheels rolled over dry dirt roads, and the open land stretched out as far as Anna could see. There were no tall buildings, no noisy crowds, no smell of the city. Everything felt peaceful but vast, almost lonely. "You must be tired after the long travel," Samuel said after a few minutes. "A little," Anna replied softly, "but I am grateful to reach safely." Her voice was calm and gentle. Samuel nodded but didn't respond. Conversation did not come easily to him. He kept his eyes fixed on the road, his jaw tight, as if he was thinking deeply. Anna did not mind the silence. She had grown up with silence, but she wondered what he thought of her. Was she what he expected? Did he regret asking her to come? After half an hour, she gathered enough courage to ask, "Is your home far from here?" "Not too far," he answered. "Maybe 20 more minutes?" Lily shifted slightly, stealing another glance at Anna before hiding her face behind her doll. She seemed uncertain, shy, and fragile. Anna felt a soft ache in her chest for the little girl. Losing a mother at a young age was a heavy pain, one Anna understood in her own way. She wanted to reach out to her, but she didn't want to scare her, so she simply smiled gently and waited. When the wagon reached the ranch, Anna's eyes widened. The land was wide and open, with a few wooden fences surrounding it. The house was simple but strong, with a porch and a chimney. There was a barn to the side, a chicken coop, and an old well near the back. Everything looked worn from years of work but still filled with life. "This is home," Samuel said quietly. Anna stepped down from the wagon slowly. The air carried the scent of hay, earth, and something warm, maybe bread or stew left on the stove. She folded her hands and took a deep breath. This place felt different from anything she had known. It felt real. It felt like a place where people lived, worked, and struggled together. Samuel carried her bag inside. She followed behind him and Lily. The house was small but cozy. The wooden floors were polished from years of footsteps. A simple table stood in the middle of the room, and a fire burned in the hearth, giving a soft glow to the home. "You can stay in this room," Samuel said, pointing to a small bedroom with a single bed. The window overlooked the barn and the open fields. The room held a quiet warmth, as if waiting for someone to breathe life into it. "Thank you," Anna said. Samuel set the bag down and stepped back quickly, as if keeping distance was safer for both of them. "I'll give you time to settle," he said before walking away. Anna stood alone in the room for a moment. She placed her shawl on the bed and looked around. She saw a small dresser, an empty shelf, and a clean quilt neatly folded. It was simple, but it was more than anything she had ever owned. After taking a moment to breathe, she went to the kitchen. She found Lily sitting stiffly in a chair, watching her every move. Samuel stood near the counter, fixing something with his hands just to keep himself busy. "Is there something I can help with?" Anna asked gently. Samuel hesitated. "You've traveled far. You should rest." "I would like to help," she said softly. "I feel better when I work," he nodded. "All right, then. You can chop vegetables for supper." Anna quietly took the vegetables and began cutting them with steady hands. The rhythm of chopping calmed her. She noticed Lily watching her with slow, careful curiosity. Anna offered her a soft smile, then returned to her task. After a few minutes, Lily whispered something barely audible. Anna looked up. "Did you say something?" Lily blinked and shook her head quickly, hiding behind her doll again. Anna didn't push. She simply continued working. Supper that evening was simple vegetable stew and bread. They sat at the table in silence at first. Samuel looked uncomfortable, Lily looked unsure, and Anna felt like she was trying to fit into a picture where she wasn't sure yet where to sit. Finally, Samuel cleared his throat. The land is big and the work is plenty. I appreciate the help you can offer. Anna nodded. I will do my best. I don't expect anything more than honesty and cooperation, he added. Anna understood. He was trying to make things clear. He didn't want her to expect anything from him. Not yet. Maybe not ever. He needed help, not a wife. She had known this, yet hearing it aloud made her chest feel a little heavy. Still, she replied gently, I only hope I can be useful. Lily finally spoke, her voice small and trembling. Papa, can I have more bread? Samuel softened immediately. Of course, he said, offering her another slice. Anna watched them, noticing the love in Samuel's eyes when he looked at his daughter. He did not know how to show the same warmth to Anna yet, but she didn't blame him. She understood grief. She understood walls built around the heart. After supper, Anna washed the dishes. Samuel offered to help, but she insisted gently, and he stepped back. Lily stayed in the kitchen doorway, watching her as she worked. When the last dish was dry, Anna turned to her. Would you like to sit with me for a moment? She asked softly. Lily hesitated. She glanced at her father as if asking permission. Samuel gave a small nod. Lily took tiny steps toward Anna and sat on a chair next to her. She didn't speak, but she didn't run away either. Anna folded her hands in her lap and simply sat there, giving the little girl space. You have a lovely doll, Anna said quietly. Lily brushed the doll's hair with her small fingers. Mama made her. Anna felt a soft ache. She made it with love, she said gently. Lily nodded slowly. Samuel watched them from the doorway. His expression was unreadable, surprised, uncertain, but also thoughtful. He wasn't used to seeing someone else in his home, someone who could speak to Lily with calm patience. Later that night, Samuel took Lily to her room and tucked her into bed. Anna listened from the hallway as he hummed a soft tune to help her sleep. It was a tune filled with old memories, probably something his wife used to hum. When he stepped out, he found Anna standing quietly. She is a sweet child, Anna said softly. She's still hurting, he replied. Losing her mother? It wasn't easy, I understand, Anna whispered. Samuel looked at her for the first time that day. He seemed to notice the gentleness in her eyes, the steady calmness she carried. You should rest, he said, his voice a little softer now. I will, she replied. She went to her room and sat on the bed. The house was quiet, the air warm from the fireplace. She thought about the day, the long journey, the quiet welcome, the uncertain moments, and the little girl's first tiny step toward her. Anna lay down and watched the moonlight through the window. She wondered what tomorrow would bring. She wondered if she would ever be more than a helper here. But above all, she wondered about Lily, the shy child who watched her so carefully. Anna closed her eyes with a small prayer in her heart. Let me be of some comfort here. She didn't know it yet. But this simple wish would soon change everything in ways she never imagined. Days passed slowly on the ranch, and each one brought a small but important change to the quiet home. Anna woke early every morning, helped prepare breakfast, fed the chickens, swept the floors, and washed clothes. She moved around the house with soft steps, gentle hands, and a calm heart. She never tried to change anything, never tried to take anyone's place. She only tried to make life easier. Samuel watched her quietly. Sometimes he saw her fixing a loose board on the porch. Sometimes she was teaching Lily how to tie her hair with a ribbon. Sometimes she stood by the window during sunset with a thoughtful look in her eyes. He didn't understand her fully yet, but he understood one thing clearly. Her presence made the house feel warmer. Still, Samuel kept his distance. He didn't want to confuse himself or confuse her. He had not asked for a bride. I had not promised marriage. He had only asked for help. He kept telling himself that. But every time he saw Lily walking closer to Anna, holding her hand or sitting beside her during meals, something softened inside him. Lily, who had been silent and shy, slowly began trusting Anna. It started with small things like handing her a ribbon or sitting beside her while she sewed. Then one day Lily whispered to her, "Can you braid my hair?" It was the first time she had asked Anna for anything. Anna's heart warmed. She sat the little girl down and carefully braided her hair. Lily watched her through the mirror, her eyes shining with curiosity. When Anna finished, the girl touched the braid and smiled, a small, shy smile, but a real one. Samuel saw this moment from the doorway. He didn't say anything, but he felt something shift inside him. One evening, dark clouds covered the sky. The wind blew strongly, and raindrops hit the windows like tiny stones. A storm was coming. Samuel went outside to secure the barn door. Anna stayed inside with Lily to keep her calm. Storms made the little girl nervous. She remembered thunder and lightning from the night her mother fell ill. Storms had frightened her ever since. Anna lit a small lamp and placed it on the kitchen table. Lily sat close to her, holding her doll tightly. The wind howled outside, and the house creaked under the pressure of the storm. "Is Papa okay?" Lily whispered. "He is strong," Anna said softly. "He is taking care of the barn. He will be here soon." Lily nodded, but fear still filled her small eyes. Another loud thunder shook the house, and she gasped, covering her ears with her hands. Anna gently took her into her arms, wrapping a warm blanket around her. "It is just the sky making noise," Anna whispered. "You are safe here. I'm with you." Lily rested her head against Anna's shoulder. She didn't speak. She didn't cry. She simply let herself be held. A few minutes later, Samuel came inside, wet from rain but relieved. "Everything is tied down," he said. "The barn is safe." He paused when he saw Anna holding Lily with such tenderness. For a moment, he stood quietly, watching them. The image etched itself deep into his heart. "Is Lily all right?" he asked. "She is," Anna replied with a gentle smile. "The storm scared her, but she is calm now." Samuel nodded and knelt beside his daughter. "Papa is here," he said softly. Lily opened her eyes but didn't leave Anna's arms. Instead, she reached one hand to touch her father's sleeve while keeping her head on Anna's shoulder. It was a moment of trust to bridge between past pain and new hope. When the storm ended, the house became quiet again. Samuel lit a small fire in the living room to dry the damp air. Lily fell asleep on Anna's lap. Anna gently carried her too. Her room tucked her into bed and whispered a soft good night. As she stepped out of the room, she found Samuel waiting in the hallway. He looked tired, thoughtful, and unsure how to speak. "Thank you," he said, his voice low. She hasn't let anyone comfort her like that since. He didn't finish the sentence, but Anna understood. She nodded softly. "She is a sweet child. She just needs time." "You have been patient with her," he said, "more patient than I knew someone could be." "She reminds me of myself," Anna whispered, "being afraid, being alone. I understand those feelings." Her words touched him deeply. He had noticed her quiet strength, but he had never understood the source of it until now, as days turned into weeks. Life on the ranch settled into a gentle rhythm. Anna learned how to milk the cow, how to prepare hay for the horses, and how to bake bread in the outdoor oven. Samuel showed her these things with polite distance, but he could not help respecting the way she worked with steady hands, humble spirit, and no complaint. Lily, however, changed the fastest. She began following Anna around the house. She asked her small questions: "How do you make soup? Can I help fold the laundry? Will you tell me a story before bed?" Anna answered every question with patience. She never forced herself into the child's life, but she was always there when Lily reached out. One evening, while Anna was sewing near the fireplace, Lily came and sat beside her. She leaned her small head on Anna's arm. "Anna," she whispered, "you smell like warm bread." Anna laughed gently. "Is that a good thing?" Lily nodded. "Makes me feel safe." Anna felt her throat tighten with emotion. No one had ever spoken such kind words to her before. Samuel walked into the room at that moment. He saw Lily leaning on Anna, saw the soft bond forming between them. His heart ached in a new way, not from pain, but from something that felt like hope. The biggest change came one quiet night. The wind was calm, the stars shining, the house was peaceful. Anna finished her chores and walked past Lily's room to check on her. She expected to find the girl asleep, but instead, Lily sat on the edge of her bed, wide awake, holding her doll tightly. "Can't sleep?" Anna asked softly. Lily shook her head. "Can I stay with you for a little while?" Anna nodded gently and took her hand. They went to the kitchen where a small lamp still burned. Anna wrapped a blanket around Lily's shoulders and sat her on her lap, holding her close. For a long moment, neither said a word. The house was still. The only sound was the soft ticking of the wall clock. Then, in the quietest, most fragile whisper, Lily asked, "Anna, will you be my mommy?" Anna froze. Her heart stopped. She felt the words echo inside her, filling every empty space she had carried all her life. For most of her years, she had believed no one wanted her, not as a child, not as a companion, not as a friend. She had grown used to loneliness. She had learned to build her life around silence. But this little girl, with soft eyes and a healing heart, was asking her the one thing she never imagined hearing. Samuel, who had gone to the barn and just returned, heard the whisper from the doorway. He stood there in shock. He didn't step in, not yet. He wanted to know how Anna would respond. Anna swallowed, her voice trembling with gentle emotion. "Lily, I care for you very much." The little girl's eyes shimmered. "I want you to stay. I want you to be with me. And Papa." A quiet tear slipped down Anna's cheek, not from sadness, but from a deep, overwhelming warmth. She hugged the little girl gently. "If your father agrees, I would be honored." Lily smiled wide, pure and full of hope. Samuel stepped forward, unable to stay silent any longer. "I agree," he said softly. Anna looked up in surprise. She didn't expect him to speak. Samuel's eyes met hers, finally open, finally unguarded. "I have been afraid," he admitted. "Afraid of forgetting the past, afraid of changing the future. But I see what you've brought to this home. Peace, warmth, a gentle light." He took a deep breath. "Lily needs you. And I need you too." His words were honest and humble. Anna felt her heart tremble. She didn't speak at first. Her emotions were too full. "You don't have to answer quickly," Samuel added, "but if you choose, you can stay. Not as a helper, not as someone from far away, but as family." A soft smile spread across Anna's face. "I would like that," she whispered. Lily clapped her hands softly, her joy gentle but pure. That night marked the beginning of a new life. A life where Anna was wanted. A life where Samuel found peace again. A life where Lily found a mother's arms to hold her. The small ranch, once quiet and heavy with memories, now breathed with hope. The home felt complete, not because everything was perfect, because three hearts had found each other. And for the first time in her life, Anna felt chosen. Truly chosen,